is our group presentation for COM 493, Dark Side of the Internet. And for today, our topic is spyware. So this is what we're going to go through today. First, we go through the definition of spyware, the different types of spyware, statistics of how spyware has affected the world, how people usually fall into spyware, the effects of spyware, then we'll give some discussion leading questions to you, and then we'll end off with how to spot spyware and what to do if you're infected with it. So the definition of spyware. Spyware is an unwanted software that infiltrates your computing device, stealing your internet usage data and sensitive information. Spyware is classified as a type of malware, which is malicious software, designed to gain access or damage your computer, often without your knowledge. I'm now going to hand over the time to Matt, who will go through more about the different types of spyware.
Alright, so firstly, thank you David for sharing us what the definitions of a spyware is. So now I'll be sharing with you what are the four main types of spyware. Firstly, spyware can penetrate your device in the form of a Trojan, which is a type of malware that is disguised as a legitimate software. Hackers use the Trojan in a rather sneaky process called social engineering, which is a method of tricking users to load and execute the virus embedded within the seemingly legitimate software. Secondly, spyware can infect your device when you interact with legitimate programs. This type of spyware infection can happen on three types of programs: adware, riskware, and foreignware. Specifically, hackers can exploit user interactions with advertisements, adult material content, and various third-party program downloads to gain access to your device. Thirdly, hackers can exploit and compromise tracking cookies, which is a common practice many legitimate programs and websites employ. Finally, hackers can also get spyware onto your device through system monitors that are designed to monitor computer activity and performance. Once spyware gets onto your device, it can cause a couple of nasty problems. It can communicate your personal and confidential information to the attackers. So information that are considered valuable are things like your email activities, your passwords, your social media accounts, credit card information, as well as your purchase history. Your online identity is at high risk of being stolen and imitated. The spyware can also corrupt and compromise your device's performance. It can soak up your device's resources, making it run slower than it should be, lagging in between applications, even crashing and even overheating. So basically it would become a parasite that's in your device, making your device not as smooth as it should be. Furthermore, the spyware can manipulate search results and serve you potentially harmful and fraudulent websites, which may trick you into clicking yourself into more harm and dangerous viruses. Right now, I'd like to pass the time on to Charmaine, who will then share with you some statistics to help you better understand how spyware is an issue in parts of the world.
Thank you, Matthew. So right now, I'll be going over the statistic for spyware. I'm sure many of you do not know, but there are 150 million pieces on the internet that are controlled by hackers. That's a very large number. Who knows, maybe even you or one of your family members could be one of them. And according to the cybersecurity statistics in 2019, 92% of malware are delivered by emails. And the commonly exploited applications by hackers are Microsoft Office, which takes up 47%, internet browsers, which take up 23%, and Android downloads, which take up 20%. The rest are by Java, Adobe Flash Player, and PDF file. And once this spyware are downloaded onto your devices, it takes just an estimate of 10 minutes for Trojan to update and change in order to avoid detection. Hi Matthew.
Hi Shah.
Welcome back.
It's great to be back. So right now, after Shah has shared with us the statistics, I'd like to ask you, Shah, what are some obvious ways that people fall into spyware?
Well, there's two obvious ways, and the most obvious one will be by suspicious email sent by hackers. Especially if it's from people that you do not know or have some weird memes that comes along with it. And the second way is Trojan. Sorry, what is Trojan?
Torrent.
Sorry, I meant torrent. Okay, these are the two obvious ways that I know.
Okay, so other than obvious ways, what are some unsuspecting ways that we find ourselves or our devices actually being infected with spyware?
One of them is automatic pop-up links, and the second one will be encrypted files inside your package folder that you downloaded. Thirdly will be the download of third-party web browsers that you use to download all other zip folders that you want to. So example will be the anti-spyware file that you downloaded. Sometimes there are encrypted spyware inside that you do not know. So you unsuspectingly downloaded it onto your device as well. There are also other freeware applications that have this spyware encrypted into it.
Other than those that Charmaine has mentioned, let me share with you more ways that you can find yourself downloading them. Alright, so there's clipart, there's also Microsoft Documents, and there's utility programs, whether they be your video players or even your advertising blockers. So other than downloading such spyware embedded within your file, sometimes you can actually trigger spyware when you browse the internet. So while browsing the internet, sometimes these web pages contain script codes that automatically triggers a spyware download to happen as soon as the page is executed to be opened. Now, let us both pass the time to David, who will then share with you the negative and positive effects of spyware. David, please.
Thank you, Matt and Charmaine, for that. So now we are going to go into the effects of spyware. Some spyware programs are created to capture every keystroke and mouse click, giving hackers the ability to follow you around the web in real time as you log into bank accounts and other important websites. Now, the first negative effect is identity theft. Hackers have access to your data and they can masquerade as you online. This can be through sending spam messages or emails to your contacts or inviting other malicious softwares using your identity. Secondly, fraud. Hackers can also access your bank accounts and steal money from these accounts. Thirdly, hackers can delete, steal, and corrupt your data on your computer. But not just that. On the flip side, your computer system can also be used to store data such as email lists, personal information, or illegal files. Now, those are the online negative effects. There are also physical negative effects. For example, your computer starts lagging as spyware takes up all your computer's system's resources to run these things. And these spywares are often hidden, so they suck up your battery as well. Unwanted ads can often pop up as well, even if your browser is not open. And when your browser is open, these spywares can redirect you to certain web pages without you doing anything. At this juncture, we wanna give our first discussion question. So what are some ways that spyware can potentially be used for good purposes?
A few moments later.
Yes, that's right. These are certain positive effects. I'm sure some of you mentioned that there can be corporate or government companies that use spyware for positive effects. For example, the NSA, CIA, among the many other governmental agencies in the United States, use spyware as a means to thwart online planning of terrorism or early notification of recruitment of terrorist groups as well. These surveillance softwares act on millions of domestic computers and work with other foreign agencies to curb the spread of extremist terrorism. Now, our military is not foreign to this as well. In Singapore, the Defence Cyber Organisation has just created this new unit, right? And this unit's purpose is to secure our defence information infrastructure and defend against threats in the cyber domain in order to enhance Singapore's peace and security. We're now moving into our second discussion question. Should governments be given the power to monitor our online activity? To further guide this discussion along, a direction that you can possibly go towards is the legality of spying. Well, who says whether spying is legal, whether it's done through hackers or regulated government agencies? Take this 5 minutes to think about this discussion question.
5 minutes later.
Yes, and now I'll hand over the time to Matt, who will introduce ways that you can spot a spyware and what can you do about it.
So thanks David for actually leading the discussion, and I hope that you guys all had a very nice and fruitful discussion about the legalities of spying.
5 minutes
Whether
later.
governments can do it better or it's just bad, no matter who does it. Alright, so now let me just share with you how to actually avoid spyware being downloaded or triggered. So it's more of a preventive. So sometimes prevention is better than a cure. Alright, so the first way is actually to carefully research the online software before downloading it. Secondly, download from their official websites only, rather than third-party websites that claims to be the real thing. Third, keep the device's operating system and web browser up to date. Fourth, read any browser pop-up messages carefully. Lastly, if the pop-ups freeze your browser, again, force quit your app and restart your computer. Alright, but sometimes it's not so easy to prevent a spyware, so it's more about how to spot whether your computer is infected with a spyware and how to then go about and solve it. Alright, so if your PC is running unusually slow, it means that spyware could potentially be hogging the system's resources. Secondly, ads are popping up even when your browser isn't even open or they are addressing you by name. Third, your browser's homepage has been changed without you doing anything. Fourth, you have invasive toolbars appearing in your browser. Fifth, your anti-spyware and/or antivirus programs aren't working correctly. Like viruses, some spyware will sabotage the programs designed to detect and then eliminate them. 6. There's a dramatic increase in internet traffic soaking up bandwidth on your internet connection, making it very slow. Lastly, unauthorized charges on your phone bill for 900 number pay per credit phone calls that you didn't make. So always be careful of them, and if you are facing some of these symptoms on your computer, you should be wary that your computer or your mobile device might be a victim of spyware. Alright, so now some questions. A main question, right? What to do when you have been infected with spyware? If you suspect that your computer has been infected with spyware or adware, you will need to install or run at least one, if not more, anti-spyware programs. You can also download free anti-spyware from any reliable vendor, and it is a relatively straightforward process. It can detect and remove spyware from your PC and protect it for other potentially unwanted threats. Be careful what you download and who you lend your phone to. Thank you.
I don't know why they take so long to come in.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so
And
thank you all for your kind attention. Good job in getting through the whole presentation with us.
So, while there's a COVID-19 situation outside and you are hopefully keeping yourself safe and healthy away from the virus, please also do not forget to keep yourself safe from viruses online and indoors, such as spyware like we mentioned today. So remember to keep your cyber distance away from your computer, away from any viruses that might be trying to enter your home by your computer. Alright? David, anything to?
No, I got nothing.
Got.
We're good.
Bye!